we have a balance sheet that's strong. We do have IO11 in operation already, and basically that plant has been paid for at this point. So IO11, we start generating cash and adding to cash flow instead of draining cash to build that particular plant. So we're well positioned with our CapEx loan facility that we have with our current banking partner to fund the next plant.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Iofina CEO, Dr. Tom Becker. Tom, very good to speak with you. Revenue and profit were both up strongly in the first half of 2025. What were the main drivers behind the performance?
Thanks, Stephen. Yeah, record revenue for us, over $29 million, over 12% year over year. Profit up over 40% year over year, over $3 million. So main driver for us is we keep growing our business. The other record number that we had was a record production number, over 305 metric tons. So we've made a conscious effort to add on additional iodine plants. We had an iodine plant open in the second half of last year, and now we're seeing the rewards of that.
You mentioned you produced over 305 metric tons in the first half, August, a record month as well. How confident are you about hitting your production targets for the second half now that IO11 is fully operational?
Yeah, very pleased IO11 came online in July of this year. It's our third plant in 3 years. We are committed to prudent growth of our organization a little bit faster than we have in the past. Balance sheet allows us to do that, and we're very confident in the legacy production that we've had from our other plants, and IO11 is now fully online. So we have a range in the market between 400 and 440 tons, confident in that range as we speak today, and that should be another record for us as an organization.
Tom, iodine prices remain firmly above $70 a kilogram. How do you see supply and demand developing into 2026, particularly given new capacity coming on stream globally?
Yes, Stephen. So the iodine market right now is about approaching about 40,000 metric tons per year. Growth rate typically is near GDP. It was a pretty strong growth rate last year, maybe a slightly less this year, but we still see a little bit of more demand in the market than there is supply. Prices, as you said, have been strong, over $70 a kilo. In fact, we averaged on a 100% basis over $74 per kilo. We don't see that changing this year. There are some Chilean projects that could provide additional supply into the market, but with a growth rate of about 1,000 to 1,500 tons a year, we just see that more taking up the demand in the market than adding a glut of supply. So while it's not certain, we anticipate pricing at these levels here moving forward.
With IO11 delivered on time and budget, can you update investors on progress with IO12 and the wider pipeline of new plants?
So IO11, again, third plant in 3 years, up online. It's about a 100 metric ton plant in our core area of central Oklahoma. But we're not ready to stop there. We anticipate a new plant under construction before year end. Negotiations for that particular plant are well along, and hope to be able to announce something here in the near future. But that's not the only project that we're working on. We're working on other projects in order to increase iodine production. We have projects at our Iofina chemical facility to bring on new products to be able to push iodine through into value-added products.
Brokers have also noted that the plants are getting bigger. Is that a deliberate strategy, Tom?
I think our plants are dependent on the brine supply that's in that particular area. IO11 is about a 100 metric ton plant, but we have aspirations in some other areas in the future that would have much larger volumes of water. So I think in the future, you might see some different size plants than we currently have at our Izor plants, but we're happy to announce that once those plans come to fruition.
Tom, you ended the first half with $6.4 million in cash and modest net debt after investing in that new capacity. How do you plan to finance further growth while maintaining that strong balance sheet?
So cash flow has still been good for the organization. And, our cash flow can vary by a few $1,000,000 just by simply how the business runs on a day-to-day basis. Large amounts of iodine sales can run over $1,000,000 a sale. depending on how receivables come in and out. We'll see that fluctuation of cash just as an ongoing thing in the business. But, what we see moving forward as far as being able to fund plants, I think our next plant we're well positioned to do that. We have facilities with our banking partner to be able to fund next iteration of our Izor plant. We have a balance sheet that's strong. We do have IO11 in operation already, and basically that plant has been paid for at this point. So IO11, we start generating cash and adding to cash flow instead of draining cash to build that particular plant. So we're well positioned with our CapEx loan facility that we have with our current banking partner to fund the next plant.
Brokers recently raised a price target for Iofina. What do you see as the key catalysts for unlocking more value for shareholders over the next 12 to 18 months?
Well, for us, it's continued execution of our growth plans, continuing to tell the story about how Iofina is a unique and growing business. We take a resource that's otherwise not being utilized from oil and gas industry, isolating a valuable product. We're not a startup. We have proven technology to do that. So letting investors know that we are letting new investors know the story of Iofina, its growing profitability, and its expansion plans, I think, will lead to more shareholder value here moving forward. So it's up to us to execute. It's up for us to also get that message out into the market.
Well, Tom, I hope you'll continue to keep us updated with your progress. Thank you very much for speaking with us today.
Thank you.
Dr. Tom Becker is the CEO of Iofina.